Hello. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. So by the title, I'm pretty sure that you guys read, we will be talking about none other than the iconic girl group Destiny's Child, breaking down their fashion. So let's get into it. So I first want to get into how Destiny's Child style was formed. And that style starts out with none other than Miss Tina Knowles, whom I will be referring to as Miss Tina throughout this video as a form of respect. Tina served as the girls' costume designer, creating all the matching ensembles. Tina was inspired by Motown and Grace Jones as well as Queen Latifah. In the 90s and early 2000s, many stylists and even fashion brands refused to style black women and black artists as a whole. Unlike today where we have black artists who have so many designers at their fingertips, which encouraged Miss Tina to become a full-time costume designer to the girls and showcase not only her talent, but highlight black beauty. In the 2020 Washington Post article, Miss Tina revealed that the record label, after the girls started getting a lot of recognition, they had a meeting with my husband and they told him that basically I was the problem and I was going to be the reason why the girls would be limited in their crossover appeal because they were a little too flashy, a little too Motown, but what they really meant was that they were too black, which is one of the most not only racist and discriminatory comments that I've heard, but also hypocritical when you had artists around like Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears, whom I love. However, let's call a spade a spade. They were nothing short of flashy as well as just as revealing, if not more revealing, than the girls. But the rules have always been different for white artists versus black artists. In later years, we see the impact and influence that Destiny's Child had on the fashion world, as well as seeing that influence in fashion worn by none other than Miss Paris Hilton, which were created by designers getting ideas and ripping off Miss Tina's designs. Destiny's Child paved the way for the Y2K fashion as well as so many other black artists, but they were never given credit for it, although we see that influence throughout TV and music. And of course, within fashion, there will always be questionable looks and questionable fashion choices. However, the inspiration from Destiny's Child was evident, and you can definitely see it within girl groups that came on later, such as 3LW. Destiny's Child ushered in the Y2K style with their blinged out ensembles, mid-rise denim, and we can't forget the quintessential embellished bralettes and belts. The iconic stylist Ty Hunter was also responsible for styling the group alongside Miss Tina. Tina met Ty at the Galleria, which is a shopping mall in Texas, while working at the clothing store BB. Now, if you know, in the early 2000s, 90s, BB was all the hype, and from there, he built a relationship with her. Ty stated Miss Tina told him, "I'm gonna get you out of here one day." But Ty didn't believe her, and one day, Ty had off and called Miss Tina, and the rest is history. The fashion that Destiny's Child and many black artists and designers were responsible for creating are almost always erased and replaced by white women and white men who weren't known for style or lacked style, and stole ideas and looks from black women and carried on as though they were their own, something that is still taking place as of today. The fashion that black women had worn in the 90s had leaped over into the 2000s and been stolen by white women, and the younger generation, not knowing their facts or history when it comes to fashion, assumed that these styles belong to these women. These styles were worn by video vixens in the 90s with what people would call ghetto fabulous, the mixing of streetwear with diamonds and furs. And like always, the style is stolen and watered down to be able to be worn by white people. When a black woman does it, it's ghetto. But when a white woman does it, it's trendy, new, edgy. Oh, and we can't forget the ever so in style.
Y'all been coming up here for years trying to steal our routines. And we just love seeing them on ESPN. What are you talking about? Burr, it's cold in here. I said there must be some toros in the atmosphere. I know you didn't think a white girl made that shit up.
This is not to be mean or tell you that you can wear certain things because black people created it, but please give credit where it's due and make sure you're being yourself and not being a follower and following a trend and not knowing where that so-called trend came from, because it's not a trend. It's our lifestyle and it's a part of the culture. You are able to draw inspiration from anyone, black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. However, the issue comes into play when there is erasure of that said culture. I don't mind people going and trying new things, trying different styles, but when you try to steal styles and claim them as your own, that's when we have an issue. Destiny's Child will always be iconic and forever it girls who helped in the shaping of Y2K 2000s fashion culture. They gave inspiration for your faves and are responsible for the embellished denim and baby tees we got that are now back in style. And with that, I will be closing out this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Also, turn on your notification bell so that you're always notified when I upload. And I will catch you guys in the next video.